Art isn't just about beauty. Art has the power to evoke emotion, spark conversation, and shake up preconceived notions about the world. As we wrestle with so many big, thorny, and seemingly intractable problems right now, how can art spur societal change? With us now to answer that big question is Tia-Simone Gardner. Dr. Gardner is an artist and an assistant professor of media and cultural studies at Macalester. Welcome, Professor Gardner.
Thank you, Dr. Rivera.
Okay, so what can art do that other societal forces, like political, economic, or social forces, can't?
That's a great question. I think that art is such a slippery idea, concept, practice, that it can get into spaces that sometimes politics, economics cannot penetrate. I think art is beautiful in that way, and I think art is beautifully dangerous in that way. And the work that I get excited about allows us to both analyze all of those things and more, and celebrate and question the world around us.
So what are some recent examples that for you demonstrate the power of art to produce societal change?
I have a couple. The first is that during the uprisings last summer, there were artists who got together, collaborated with each other, and worked with printing houses to make posters, to make literature, all centered around ideas of freedom and abolition and liberation. I think all of those things got out through different, platforms. Some were printed, some went out through social media, and people needed that. A second is directly in response to that. A major American art institution attempted to appropriate that work. They wanted to show it as in an exhibition, which cool, but you have to respect the intention with which that work was made. And the artist could have responded by saying, oh, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to show in this giant museum. But they actually were like, no, this is not why we made this work. We believe that this work is for many, many large audiences, and you disrespect that initial intent by going about it this way, and responded very publicly, which I think was good for people to see, that you don't have to cede your power to institutions just because they're bigger than you. The third is also connected to the uprisings, but has continued. That artists got together in multiple cities to make work, or they had work reprinted that was for bail funds, and supported a lot of folks, a lot of communities doing that work. And so those are a few of the things that have been present with me this year.
So in your view, why is art particularly important right now at this moment in American history?
I think that we are at a turning point. I guess it always feels like we're at a turning point in the U.S. But I think right now there is a need for creative collaboration across a range of institutions, whether that's education, hospitals, government. I think artists are really good at organizing. I think artists are good at improvising within that type of difficult collaborative environment. And I think that right now we need that. We need people who can imagine what's possible. We need people who can imagine a future in a really difficult time when it feels like, when is the future going to come, or is there a future? And so I think, I know that artists are brilliant thought leaders, and I've watched folks, do really amazing projects. And I think that's what art can do right now and is doing.
Dr. Tia-Simone Gardner is an artist and assistant professor of media and cultural studies at Macalester. Thank you for sharing your insights with us today, Dr. Gardner.
Thank you so much for having me today.